Yo, back at you with another video. Coming at you from chooseyourrelationships.com, author of Boss Life Secrets, which can be found on Amazon.com. What's really going on out here on these streets of America? Only in America. At least that's where I live at anyway. You know, you might live somewhere else. Who knows? There's people that listen to me in Australia, the UK, Canada, Spain. I'm surprised about Spain. Where else? The Philippines. Where else? Japan. Where else? Worldwide. You know, I'm surprised, but I'm at the same time I'm surprised, but I'm I appreciate it. You know, I must be saying something that resonates with them. Whatever that is. You know, it's all good. So, hey, like the video, share the video, and all that good stuff, man. You know, we're going to talk that talk. And P.S. by the way, check out the Love Can't Wait podcast. You can find the podcast on iTunes, Google, iHeartRadio, Apple, Amazon, any place where there's audio being played, basically. You know, so you check me out on those platforms. Jeez Louise. You know? So it's a Friday night. I usually don't do I haven't done a live video on a Friday in a long time. Only because I'm usually not home around this time. I'm usually out and about, maybe working or something like that. So it's been a minute. It's been a while. Probably about what? I don't know. Probably like almost a year since I've done about a year almost since I've done a live video on a Friday night. Yeah. But hey, sometimes, you got to man up. And that's why I want to do this video. Sometimes we got to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. And it's hard being a man in this society, American society. And it varies from guy to guy, depending on a lot of this could be based on how you grew up, the environment, who you're hanging around, who you're talking to, your day-to-day activities, your struggles. It's hard being a man. It's easy being gay. It's easy to be a gay man. Shit. Just all you gotta do is just be one way. Go figure. Some guys take that route. They take the path of least resistance. I'm not gonna ever take that route. But hey, that's just me. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm never gonna take the path of least resistance as far as being a gay man. That ain't ever gonna happen. you know. So now I don't know it's hard being a man. I don't know if it's supposed to be easy though. I'm not sure about if it's supposed to be easy or not, to be honest. Um, I've asked people that, and they say they don't know. You know, they don't know if it's supposed to be easy to be a man or not. But there's a lot of benefits come with being the best man you can be or the best man you can become. What up, Mikey? Much respect. You know, it's a lot of benefits that come with being a man or being the best man you can be or being the at least the best man in the room or the best man in that in a particular environment or being perceived as the best man in a certain environment or in the household or in the room, you know. But there's a lot of responsibilities that come along with it too. And this is the part that a lot of guys um, they have problems with because they're like, I think a lot of guys they think that things supposed to be fair all the time. You know, a lot of guys get caught up in the what women say, a lot of the double standards that exist in this society. Now there's all kind of double standards that exist in this society. One guy can say this, the next guy can say that. When you say it, the rules change. When he said, he's great. It's like that's always going to. I think that always going to exist. The double standards, the the isms, I think all that's. I don't think that's going nowhere no time soon. I really don't. You know, that's why I don't get really caught up in any of that stuff. You know, one guy, like when it comes to us, we have our standards. Everybody's standards is high, boy. The standards is high for us, boy. We got to be Superman in almost every environment in this society, and we're expendable at the same time. So, on one hand, we got to be great, but on the other hand, you're expendable. I'll find another one just like you. It's just kind of weird. It's a weird dynamic that happens. You see this a lot in sports and on the job too. At your job, the standards is high for you. Whether you know it or not, your supervisor, your boss, they expect a whole lot from you working there. You can't even make a mistake. They start looking like, hey, might need to replace him with somebody else. Yeah, not producing. But somebody else, your other coworkers, they're not doing not even half of what you be doing. But when they make mistakes, it's not a big deal. When you make mistakes, oh, it's a big deal. You see this in football too. As long as the football player is producing, oh, he can get a whole, they'll throw boatloads of money at him. As soon as he starts getting hurt, he's not reliable. He ain't playing. He missing games. All of a sudden, he's washed up. He's no good. He's trash. I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all don't say that about other quarterbacks. Wait a minute, man. What the hell's going on around here, man? How come when I get hurt, what I done in the past don't matter? What only matters is right now. But when it comes to the other quarterbacks, what happens in the past counts, and what's going on today counts too. But the other quarterbacks might not be productive, but he still gets a pass. Come on, man. And this is what a lot of y'all fighting up against. And there's no way you can't run from it. Everybody does it towards you. Could be people in your family do it. People at your job do it. Yeah, you can't run from it. I deal with her all the time. Every week. Now you might not necessarily realize somebody's thinking like this towards you. Because you might be talking to a woman and she's, in her mind, she's expecting a lot out of you. Now, she might not expect a lot from her. Now, when it comes to her, the bar is low when it comes to her. But when it comes to you, it's high, right? And if you ask her, hey, how was your previous relationships? The bar was low with them. But she's brand new now. This is what I'm talking. You can't escape it. This shit is ingrained in society, in the minds of the masses of people. This is why a lot of guys, when they go elsewhere and start meeting people, women mainly, they're shocked that, damn, I don't gotta be super nigga. I can just be appreciated just being a man first. Then I'll work on the other stuff later. Damn. So a lot of guys say, hey, you know what? After a couple of years, it might not even be a couple of years. It might be a couple months. They'll be like, you know what? I'll just stay over here where I'm more celebrated and appreciated. I'll spend most of my time here because over there in America, over there in that environment, over there around those women, I'm not really appreciated like I should be. That happens all the time. I get emails all the time from guys like that. All the time. Every week. For the past, 2 years. Everyone is replaceable? Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Just depends on the person, I would think. Now, what I would say is everybody's not duplicatable. That's what I would say. Everyone is not duplicatable. You can replace somebody, but that don't mean it's going to be better than the last person. That don't mean the relationship is going to be better than the last person. So everyone is replaceable, but everybody's not duplicatable. So I get what you're talking about with that, you know, because I've seen women go from one guy, she downgrade. She went from that dude to the dude on the corner. You know what I'm saying? So hey, so from that standpoint, I agree with you. Everyone is replaceable. But the quality is not, that's not duplicatable. There's some, there's some people you can't duplicate that. Especially a woman that's past the age of 40. There's a good chance she's not gonna be able to get the guy she wants past the age of 40. Because the guys she wants, 9 times out of 10, ain't looking for no 45-year-old woman. Will they smash? Maybe. Will they settle? Probably not. Highly unlikely. Unless he's a fool. That's how it is for the most part. Now, you always have some fools out here. They'll get married to a woman, 45 with 2, 3 kids. He'll leave where he live at and move where she stay at up north. There's always a fool, But those guys, for the most, they don't know what they're doing. And the worst part about it is their families co-sign the nonsense. Because the guy will say, he'll tell his mom, and the dad probably won't really be in the picture like that. But he'll tell the mom and everybody, "Hey, I'm leaving North Carolina and I'm moving to someplace like Wisconsin to be with this woman. She got 2, 3 kids, and he's leaving North Carolina, wherever he live at, to be with her in Wisconsin." And the chances of that relationship working out, think about this for a second. You got 2, 3 kids with another man, this woman, and he's coming up, moving in with them, a ready-made family. He don't know what the hell he getting himself into. All he know is he loved this woman. And the mom and the family, his mom and his family ain't gonna say nothing. That's a tragedy, in my opinion. A tragedy. A recipe for disaster. If a woman got 2, 3 kids, I would never even consider dating a woman like that. No way. I don't care how good the sex is. There's no way. I don't care. There's no way, man. That's shit. I don't even have kids yet. I want kids, but how the hell? If I hang around her, what the hell I'm doing? Oh hell no. A recipe for a disaster? Oh my God. Yo, smash the like button. Share the video, smash the like button. I'm about to put the link in the chat. If you want to come on, just click the link. A recipe for a disaster, boy. I'm like, oh my God. What up, Shelly? What if the Wisconsin woman is 26 years of age with 2 children? No, no. It don't even matter how old she is. What matters to me is she got 2 kids. I don't have no kids yet. And I'm looking to have kids. What's the chances of her wanting to have more kids? Maybe one more at 26. But I can't. Now, here's the problem, Shelly, with her having 2 kids. I can't equally, or I should say, I can't put. I don't think I would be able to share the love for 2 kids that didn't come from me, that don't share my DNA. That's the problem that I would have. I don't think it would be fair for the kids. So I wouldn't even put myself in a position like that. Because some people will say, well, if you do for one, you got to do for all. Look, man, even if you have good intentions, even if you try to be that way, I've seen some guys try to buy into that philosophy. The kids pick up on it. The kids that were there before you got there, even though you might have one kid with this woman, they pick up on it. They know you ain't. They know you showing favoritism to your kid and not them. They pick up on it. And I've actually known people, a couple kids that grew up like that, and once they became adults, they said, yeah, he was cool. My stepdad was cool, but he had some favoritism. Certain things he wanted to do with his kid, but he chose not to do it at all because he didn't want to do it for the rest of us. See, it's that I wouldn't even want to get myself involved in that. Period. That's the problem I would have. So it ain't just about the woman. It's the kids involved. It's me being involved. A whole lot of stuff. Smash the like button. If you grew up in a situation, if you had a stepdad and you were the other kid, I want to hear what you think. Click the link. Come on. Tell me what you think. Tell me what's been your experience. If you've been that other kid growing up. If y'all had the same mom but different dad. How did that go for you growing up as a kid? Or maybe you had the same dad but different mom. How did that work out? I know a lot of people have different stories. It's going to be different for everybody because everybody has a different dynamic as far as how they raise the kids and all of that. But me personally, yeah, I'll pass. And there's a lot of responsibility that comes along with that. And me, I would never take on those types of responsibilities, man. Yeah. And check this out. The guys that do, take on those responsibilities, I salute them. I salute those guys because they're doing something I would never do. I would never do that. Well, I salute those guys. No doubt. I salute those guys, man. There's a lot of financial responsibility to take on as well. And let's say let's say she's 26 and you're 28. Or maybe y'all the same age. That's very tough to take on if you're in the 20s. I mean, think about it. Most guys in the 20s, they don't even know who they are in the 20s. They're still trying to figure that out. That's the truth. I mean, most guys don't really get a handle on who they are until they hit mid-30s. I mean, even I use myself as an example. I didn't really know what I was capable of until I turned about 35. I didn't really know the impact and the influence that I have on certain people around me until I turned like 35. I took it for granted. I was like, man, ain't no big deal. Hell, well, what's the big deal? I mean, I ain't doing nothing special. I used to talk like that because I assume I was naive for this. I assume that most guys were like me, and I found that out. I found that not to be true. I assume that most guys impacted men, women, kids, whoever, friends, family. No, that's not true. That's not true. Not at all. I give you an example. I'm moving to North Carolina next month. I'm moving out of Georgia, right? Now this has happened a couple of times. Well, not a couple of times, but I haven't moved a lot, but I moved to North Carolina. I moved from South Carolina to North Carolina, and then I moved to Georgia, and now I'm moving back to North Carolina. But the point is, I've worked quite a few jobs, right? I've met quite a few people everywhere I've been. Every time I told somebody that either I'm close to or kind of like not necessarily close to, but it's going that way. It's on the way up. Like Fat Joe and Remy Ma, I'm on the way up. It's going there. It's getting there. So people I'm close to are on the way up. And people that I think I want to keep in contact with when I leave, right? When I tell them that I'm leaving, most of the women start crying. They start crying. I'm talking like every time. Now it ain't funny. But that's happened quite a few times. And I'm like, hey, why are you crying? There's nothing to cry about. We'll keep in contact. We'll talk. I'll see you again. And it's not like ain't nobody died. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm still here. I ain't going nowhere. No time soon. Anyway, at least I hope not. Oh, salute to you, man, for the $5. But yeah, I used to take that stuff for granted. I'm like, oh, what's the big deal? What you crying? What you crying for? And as I got older, I realized that there's something about me that I don't really I take for granted. I didn't realize it until I got, like I said, until I hit mid-30s. Oh, Shelly, you like that? I took it for granted. I was like, man, come on, man. It's no big deal. Come on, girl. Come on. Give me a hug. Yeah. It's like, and sometimes, man, I used to, not now. I didn't really know how to react when the first time a woman started crying when I told her I was leaving. I didn't know how to react. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Why? I mean, God damn. And the worst part, people were around looking at this. This wasn't like in a private area or like no, we're in public when this is happening. We're in public now. We're in public, man. I'm like, oh, God damn. Stop crying. They'll think one of your coworkers might think I've done something to make you cry. God damn. Yeah, man, it's happened a couple times, man. Now, some people will say it's the X factor. Women use tears as a weapon, Charlie. You have to dodge those bullets like Neo in the Matrix. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But this wasn't the case, though. This wasn't the case. Yeah, women can manipulate when it comes to crying. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But this wasn't the case. No. Now, I know when a woman's trying to manipulate me, when she starts crying because I won't do something, or she wants to control me. Oh, hell no. Now that ain't the business there. I know what time it is when it comes to that. But if she starts crying just because I'm leaving, I'm moving away, that's a different story. Because, her crying ain't gonna make me change my mind. I'm still leaving. I was just nice. Nice to tell her I was leaving. I was gonna leave regardless. But I understand where you come from with it. Yeah, but there's some women, what's white women, especially, boy. White women, when white women start crying, oh my God, everybody come out the woodworks. You be like, God damn. Hey, you did it. What? You? What? I ain't done nothing. Hey, I plead the fifth. But hey, man, that with all the good, there's another side. The ugly, the bad. There's people that happy I'm leaving. There's people that can't stand my guts. They ain't gonna miss me. They like, thank God he's gone. One less person I have to worry about. There's that too. You can't let that bother you. You know, my dad told me, man, rest in power to him. My dad told me, people are always gonna have something to say about you. People hate up, not down. And people are always gonna have something to say about you. You can't get away from that. That's just a part of the game. My dad told me this, and I was a teenager at the time. He said somebody's always gonna have something to say about you. It ain't going nowhere. And he said, the hate is real. The hate is real. And he said, if you're the strongest guy in the room, in the environment, or the perception of you is the strongest guy, the mob will always gang up on you. That's how it is. So he said, a lot of times it's not good to expose who you are so fast. Sometimes you got to be strategic on how you go about handling your business. That's what he told me, man. And that was some good damn advice too. And what the one thing that I always respected about my parents, man, is they never lied to me, man. Everything they told me at some point turned out to be true. It happened. The sheep will always follow the lion. That's what he told me, man. So he said, you got to always maintain, or at least have, standards, discipline, and establish boundaries. 3 things: standard, discipline, and boundaries. You got to have it. Got to have it. You got those 3 things, you go a long way in life. Standards, discipline, and boundaries. Yep. Start getting these crazy messages, man. It always happens when I'm on live too. DMR in the house. What's going down, man? Yeah, your dad gave you some excellent advice. Yeah, he was a wise guy. He was a wise guy, man. You know. Yo, what up, DMR? Yo. Standards, discipline, and boundaries. Yup. I'm telling you, man. He said that'll take you a long way, bro. You know, and he said it's gonna be. See, if you have standards, discipline, and boundaries, it's gonna be hard to break you. It's gonna be hard for anybody to talk your way out of anything. You're gonna be unstoppable. They can't. It's gonna be hard to break you if you had standards, discipline, and boundaries. It's gonna be hard to break you. They're gonna have to damn near kill you to break you. I'm serious. I mean, I'm laughing. I'm keeping it a buck. It can't break you if you have standards, discipline, and boundaries. Smash the like button. He just sounds like my dad. Well, yeah, your dad was a wise guy too. Hey, what's new, DMR? Yeah, it's like you're gonna be unstoppable, man. It's like you can't be broken. You chilling? I hear you, man. Paying them bills. You got to pay some. You got to pay to play. You got to pay the cost to be the ball. Yeah, my dad was cool as hell. Hey, I had a player type dad. My dad was a player type dude. Yeah. Hey, my dad was a player type guy. My grandfather, he was a player type dude too. They used to wear flashy suits and all that shit. This is back. You got to think about this now. This is in the 1900s, early 1900s. In the 1920s and 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s. These dudes were like running shit back in the day. And I never met my grandfather. On my dad's side, he got killed by the Klan because he was a boss. He's a boss type dude. He was a high roller. And you know what happened to a lot of them high rollers back in the day. A lot of them didn't make it. They were killed. So now I've seen pictures of him, of course, but that's how it was back in the day. And my dad, he lived through all that shit. He made it. He survived. And even my uncles, they still living. Some of them still living to this day. All them they player type dudes. A lot of them, they 80 something years old, but they still the same. Ain't nothing changed. They just older. They're very street savvy. Speaking of that, I gotta call one of my uncles. You're right, Trump. My pops, and he's in the 80s. He got a girl in her 40s. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. These dudes, they ain't tricks. They ain't tricking. They ain't got to do that shit. They player type dude. They already know what it is. They know how to talk that talk. You know what I'm saying? They say, my pops came from North Carolina to New York. Yeah, back in the day, a lot of people left the South and went to the North. And now is a lot of people are leaving the North and going back home, basically. That's how the opposite is happening today. Yeah, them old school cats, them old school cats got more game than Monopoly. For real. They got more game than Monopoly, man. You can't. I be laughing my ass off. You know, I mean, when I'm around my uncles, not all of them, but at least 2 or 3 of them, shit is like a fashion show, man. The shit is like I mean, the shit be funny, but the shit it's effective. That's all that matters. It's effective. This shit works. The stuff they be doing. Hey, you can't say nothing. This shit is funny as hell. My pot I don't use it. You can't say nothing and shit. Like, what the hell I'm gonna say to him? You know? And then see another thing, a lot of them old school cats will call you out too. If you're a guy and if you start acting like a woman or being too soft, they'll call you out. That's another thing. Now a lot of the younger people in the 20s, they can't take all that. Nah, the young in the 20s, they can't take all that. No, they wouldn't, because they'll crumble inside. I grew up, these dudes were rough, boy. They'll say what it is, no filter. They don't got no, they don't got no filter. They don't know how to like be politically correct. They don't really know. I don't really know what that is. They don't really know what that is, man. Walk that walk. Yeah. Today's guys are not like the old school men. Oh no. No. Even I'm not like them. I'm not like them either. Shit. I'm not even like them. I'm like probably percentage wise, maybe 30, 40% of them. You know, I'm not even like them. The shit get watered. Once you get past, oh shit, excuse me. The shit gets watered down from generation to generation. I remember I was at a job and a pimp from New York pulled the girl I was trying to smash. For real? Yeah, it happens that way, man. Man, my internet is starting acting a little crazy, looking like. I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, thanks, man. Man, it's starting to get chilly outside now, man. Last night was cold, man. Can you believe it? Last night was 45 degrees. My goodness. I ain't ready for this. I'm 58 and I can't believe these guys today simping. Simping today, man, is kind of a normal thing now. Back in the day, man, simping was looked down upon. But today, it's kind of normal now. Problem is young dudes these days grew up with the moms always coddling them. So when someone tells them the truth about themselves, they can't handle it and get emotional Don't have the coping skills. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much how it is today, man. A lot of guys get coddled. Um, Not only do they get coddled when they're growing up, a lot of guys that's from other countries, they get coddled over there. And when they come over here, they can't deal with this environment over here. A lot of them can't deal with it. They struggle over here. And a lot of them, they'll get all depressed and start drinking and smoking and lose their goddamn minds. And some of them go back to where they came from because they can't handle it. They've been coddled growing up, being where they're from. And see, when they come over here, they're looking for validation. See, being that we're born and raised here, we ain't looking for no validation. We know most people ain't shit out here. We know most people that we work with ain't worth a damn. We already know what it is. But not these other guys that come over here. What is toxic masculinity? That's just something they made up, man. When they say toxic masculinity, they're talking about us. That's what they're really talking about. They're talking about us. They just don't want us around. That's all it is. You know, but they just don't want us around. That's all it is. Ain't got nothing to do with what they talking about. See, in this society, they say things and it don't really mean what they say it means. See, sometimes, I'm gonna say most of the time, you got to read between the lines of what they're trying to say. I give you an example, Shelly. When they say thug, they're talking about us. They don't call other guys, groups of guys, thugs. People don't talk like that. No. When they say thugs, they're talking about us. So it's the same thing with toxic masculinity. They just don't want us around most environments, jobs, any place where the status quo exists, basically. You know, any place where the status quo exists, they just don't want us around. And that's almost everywhere. Now, they'll use you up if they can. And once they get done with you, they'll find somebody else to replace you. It's kind of like football. It's kind of like sports. If you're productive, as long as you're productive, they'll tolerate you. As soon as you start not being productive, you start getting hurt, they want to get rid of you now. They do this like, let's take what's the guy's name? Skip Bayless. Everybody probably know who Skip Bayless is if you watch football. He's a journalist. He'll say something like, well, he's a distraction. When they say he's a distraction, that's the same thing as saying toxic masculinity. What that really means is his personality is so big, he's too outspoken because he wants to win. Now, that doesn't mean he ain't a team player. What it really means is his personality, his aura, who he is just too much for the team. So he's a distraction. That's what that means. That's what that really means. He ain't gonna go along to get along. That's all that means. So the more masculine you are, the more these same types of guys will see you as, they'll be insecure about being in your presence. These same guys you work with, you look at on television, they have a they get very uncomfortable when an alpha dude or masculine dude come in their presence. And if for whatever reason, if y'all have a run-in with each other, they'll say you're toxic. Even though they instigated it, but they'll say you're toxic. Now, keep in mind, they don't say white guys are toxic or any other guys toxic. That means us. You know, you're in Florida. You're in South Florida, right? I like South Florida. Young guys today are out of shape and broke. God damn, man. Well, they're in the 20s, man. They'll hopefully, a lot of them guys, they'll get it together. I've seen the reverse shove. I've seen guys from Jamaica or even a country like Israel come here and handle the BS and start their own business. They can't work corporate America. Well, that's because of their religion. That's because of their religion. Their religion has a lot to do with that. Now, see, religion is not what we think it is. The religion is a front. 97% of the time. Religion is a front. The religion is just a way for people to start their own economy and work as a group. That's all religion is. That's all it is. Now, some people will say it's a hustle. Well, yeah, you can call it that. You know? So it ain't about what's in the book. It ain't about what's in the book all the time. Now, there's some good word in the book, of course. The Quran, the whatever, man. You know, the Bible's book of stories, and the Bible's written in a very unorthodox type way. You can't read the Bible like you read a regular book. No. You know, the Bible's kind of, it's full of riddles and stories and all kind of bullshit, you know. Like Allen Iverson. Yup, exactly. Yeah, Allen Iverson, he was toxic. They destroyed his image. Toxic masculinity. He is a anomaly like Neo. Yeah, so they destroy your image and then be like, he's toxic because he changed the game. If you change the game, Allen Iverson changed the game, changed the NBA in a lot of different ways. You know, people will say he's toxic. Still to this day, say he's toxic. How the hell you retired? What, 20 years ago? Some shit like that, and they still calling you toxic. But they don't call those white guys toxic, though. You see what I'm saying? You got to read between the lines. And this is where the game comes from. This ain't about just women when it comes to having game. Some guys will say, "Oh, you don't need no game." Yes, you need game everywhere you go. Only a fool would say something like that. You need strategy everywhere you go. I don't care what country or what woman you're talking to. If you got to go in the blind, you're at a disadvantage. It's like if I go to Brazil right now or tomorrow. Let's say I go to Brazil tomorrow. I'm at a disadvantage because I don't know the culture. I don't know the language. I don't understand the language. I can't speak the language. So I'm trying to link up with somebody that's there. Someone show me around because I'm at a disadvantage. I'm going in the blind. Now, will I get taken advantage of? Maybe. Well, if I get taken advantage of, will I be surprised? No, because I don't know the culture. I don't know the language. That's how it is. I almost expect to get taken advantage of if I don't know the language or the culture, because I'm going at it in the blind. That's how it is. And most people don't think like we do. Most people say, "Hey, I treat people how they treat me. You got to have good morals and all that." Most people don't think like that, bro. Now, you want to meet somebody or be around people that have similar morals as you. Yeah, that's cool. But initially, when you first meet somebody, they're not thinking like that. They don't know you from a can of paint. You might be a murderer. They don't know you. Now, once you get past the intro and meeting this person, you get to know them. Yeah, maybe y'all have similar morals. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. But to say that the first person you meet, you gonna hit it off, no. You setting yourself up for disappointment. Mississippi in the house. What up, man? And smash the like button. And P.S. by the way, subscribe to the podcast, Love Can't Wait podcast, if you haven't already. Okay. Yeah, smash the like button. Yes, man. I'm getting crazy messages, man. What the hell is this? That's how it is, man. You got to read between the lines in this society for the most part. It's kind of like when you're looking at television. When you look at television, especially the news, pay attention to what they saying. What they saying ain't what they really saying. If that makes sense. You know, it ain't that what that's not really what they mean, what they say. You know. And you know what? Another thing I learned. Most people don't understand that. Don't understand this. Most people take things the way it sounds and they just run with it. They don't even think anything different at all. They just like, oh, okay. He talking about thugs. He talking about everybody. No, he talking about us when they say thugs. No, they talking about us. They say toxic masculinity. They talking about us. That's how that is. You know. Yeah, these other groups of guys don't get called names like that. They don't get called names like that, you know. That doesn't happen like that, you know. But you know, people today, the average person today, don't really think about anything. They just be doing some shit, and it's not like they're busy doing a whole lot. Man, most people are not really busy like that. No, they're doing the same shit they did 5, 10, 15 years ago today. Most people. You call in your friends today that you went to high school with, college with, they're doing the same shit they did 10, 20 years ago. Most people don't really change that much over the years unless something drastic happens and that make them change. But other than that, no. No. Most people don't change, man. It's like if you call somebody, hey, how you doing? Oh, I've been busy. Busy doing what? What the hell you busy doing? You know they're lying. It's the same shit. It's the same shit he do. Every football season, every basketball season, every baseball season, every soccer season. High school, same shit. You know, they've been doing it for 20, 30 years. He go to work the same, he probably working the same job 10, 20 years. And last year, they let him go or he retired. And now he got a new job now. But it's the same type of job he had for the last 10, 20 years. He worked that job 5, 6 days a week, 8, 10-hour days. He come home tired, take a shower, eat, sleep, wake up the next day, do the same shit over again. And come Sunday, he'll go to the bar, look at football, hang out with his buddies. He might go out of town every blue moon just to do something different, just to get away from the stresses of being married and having kids. But it's the same old shit. The same old shit. He'll hang out with his buddies from high school or college. And most of those people aren't really his friends because he never really made time to have friends. Those are just his high school buddies. That's most people. That's most guys that I know that I just described to you are like that. Most guys I know aren't traveling anywhere. They're not going to no Brazil, Colombia, Japan, Australia, to the DR, Canada. They're not going nowhere like that. Most guys I know, and I know a bunch of guys from all walks of life. But there's one common thing that I've seen with most of these guys that I know. They always concerned about what people think about them. And that's part of the reason why they don't do anything different. Part of the reason why they don't go anywhere. Now, P.S. and by the way, these guys have money to travel. Most of these guys I know have money to travel, but they still don't go nowhere. Yeah, they might get in their car and drive 2 cities over, the next state over. They might go to Florida maybe once every 2 years, something like that. But they're not going to fly very much. They got the money to go. They still won't go. So it ain't really a money thing. It's more of a mindset thing. And because the people around them affect how they think. Because, see, they're looking for they're looking to be accepted. You know, I'm not. I don't give a damn about being accepted by anybody at this point. Either you're with me or against me. My life, my game, my show. That's what I always say. I need to put that on a t-shirt. My life, my game, my show. I need a designer, man. I need a designer. Most people are in the matrix and don't want to be unplugged. Oh, yeah. Most people, man, they like things the way it is. That's the truth, bro. They like things the way it is. They just want a more comfortable spot in the matrix. That's all it is. But most people don't want to change anything, man. That's the truth. They just want a comfy spot, a comfy job. You know, they want to be with the girl that they want to be with, have kids, and do whatever else they want to do. You know, most people don't really have a problem with how things are today. Don't let these people fool you. Because you assume, like, if you're talking to somebody, you assume that y'all thinking the same. No, you be thinking he's upset because you upset. No, don't do that. He's upset for a whole different reason than you. He's upset because he wants to be a part of oppressing people. That's why he wants to be a part of the establishment. That's why he's upset. He don't got a problem. The only problem he has, he just don't want the hammer to come down on him. If it comes down on you, great. He don't got a problem with that at all. That's exactly what he wants. He wants to be the buffer in this society. As long as the hammer ain't coming down on him, he don't got a problem with it at all. He wants to be a part of the buffer class. Yeah, that's probably most, especially foreigners. That's probably the majority of them, I would think. If I had to guess. And it ain't about just making money either. No, it's much deeper than that. Because if it was just about making money, well, people would have a whole bunch of more money. This is about really being accepted. They're looking for acceptance from other people. So it goes above and beyond just money. See, I used to think, oh, they're doing it for money. No, they're not. They might get some couple more dollars out of it, but no, it's actually more of a lot of these people are insecure. They're looking for acceptance from a certain group of people in society, or it could be somebody at the job. Could be a circle of people that they have around them. See, I didn't grow up like that. I've never been that type of person where I'm looking for somebody to love me or like me or something like that. No, not at all. And a lot of people are like that, though. People that you don't even realize might be like that. You might have some people close to you are like that. You probably never thought they were like that. Because that never happened for them to show that side. That happens too. So smash the like button. It hit the Cash App, man. Now I'm not gonna be in here too much longer. Man. Not gonna be in here too much longer, man. Been on here a little over an hour, almost an hour and 19 minutes. Probably go another 5 minutes, man. I'm signing off. But when people are always gonna say something about you, man. You can't get around it. Not in this society. It's always gonna be double standards. It ain't going nowhere. The isms ain't going nowhere either. And see that's key. Most people are just average, mediocre people. At best, they're above average. That's most people. Most people are just average people. They ain't really trying to ruffle no feathers or rock the boat. They just want to fit in. That's most people. That's most people, man. But see, here's the catch. When it comes to us as men, that usually don't work that well for us. In this society, when it comes to us, either you're a god or a monster. Either you're a god or a monster. So what that means is either you're going to be great, bigger than life, best you can be, stick out from the crowd, you get the accolades, the attention, the girls, you benefit financially, you get rewarded. That's the God. The monster is the opposite. Monster is the criminal. Robber, killer, thief. There's no in between when it comes to us. If you're in the middle, when it comes to us, you're damn near invisible in this society. This is why a lot of guys go elsewhere. Because they don't want to be involved in none of that shit. They'd rather say, hey, I'll just go to DR, Brazil, Colombia, Australia, Japan, Philippines. I don't got to be a god or a monster in those societies. I can just be average or just above average. I can just be respected as just being a man first before the accolades and all the extra stuff. If you're a god or a monster in this society, and if you're trying to be average, you're going to be damn near invisible. And that's how it is. And most guys, most of us, we struggle with that every day, every week. We just don't. Some of us might not realize it. But being a high achiever, you're like God. You're godlike. You're like, from most guys' perspective, even women, from their perspective, you're superhuman. Because they can't see themselves doing some of the shit you do, some of the shit I do. They're like, I can't do that shit. He's 6'2", 205 pounds. I'm 5'5", 150 pounds. I can't do that shit. Yeah, so you're like superhuman to some of these guys out here. That's how they look. You know how they look at Michael Jordan as God, Black Jesus. And that's how they look at Michael Jordan. Yeah, they're like, I can't do none of that shit. If you're God or a monster, can't be both. Hot Wheels lead the way. Yeah. In American society, you are determined to be a god if you provide benefits to the powers that be. Yeah. Yeah. Now you can have your own little circle, own little environment, and still be godlike. But if you want to go international, yeah, you can go to that route too. You know, that's how it is. You get, but the best part about it, you get rewarded for your hard work and labor, for your discipline, boundaries, desires, hard work, dedication, you get rewarded. And that's a good thing. That's a great thing. That you deserve it. That you done caught hell. Because those guys, like, Michael, you say what you want to say about Michael Jordan. But he worked his ass off to become who he became. Now you might say, hey, I didn't agree with how he went about doing it. Yeah, you can say that, but he worked his ass off. Nobody was around when he was shooting them damn shots late after practice at nights. No one was around. There wasn't no cameras around when he was by himself practicing. See, that's where a lot of that arrogance comes from. That a lot of people say he's arrogant. That's where a lot of that comes from, because his back was against the wall. Nobody was supporting him or wasn't nobody high-fiving him, wanting him to win back in the day. They were against him. Most people are going to be against us. Ain't nobody going to be sitting around. Most people, I know, I'm talking males, I know they don't have a circle of people around them jumping up and down like cheerleaders. It ain't a lot of people. Might have 1 to 2 people, no more than 5. And if he do have more than 5 people, he built his network. He's established himself, and it took him years to do that. That shit didn't happen like 2 years ago. It took him years to have that network. So when these people blow up, that was 10, 15 years in the making. And then when you say, hey, teach me how you did what you did, you got to pay him, bro. You got to pay him, brother. He done put the time in. He ain't giving you nothing for free. You know why? Because he paid the cost to be the boss. He get to name the price. You got to pay. He paid with his blood, sweat, and tears when no one was around at nights. That's how it is, man. And see, they say we're arrogant, right? But they don't say those other dudes is arrogant. They said, do they ever say Tom Brady's arrogant? They don't ever say Tom Brady's toxic? No. Tom Brady on the sideline yelling, screaming, cursing people out. Do they ever say he's toxic? No. Never. Never say. They don't even say nothing like that. Come on, man. Never said he was arrogant or toxic. That's what we're fighting up against. The double standards, the people don't believe in us. You got to believe in yourself when nobody else believes in you. And you might have to go over the hill by yourself before anybody show up. Some guys don't like that. But that's the truth. But the good news is you get rewarded. You get rewarded later on. You know why? Because you paid the cost to be the boss. So anybody comes around you, you got to be like, hey, man, I ain't putting up with that bullshit. You better get up out of here. I done sacrificed, stayed up late, lost a couple friends, didn't go to the club. I done worked hard to get to this place. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let some man or some woman take away what I worked hard for. A lot of women have a problem with that. I remember when they were hating on Didnt because he played in football and baseball game, and the same day they call him selfish, which means no sense. Which makes no sense. Yeah, they do that because same thing. He was Didnt. They look at Didnt. He's super nigga. He doing something that nobody ever done before. How can he play both sports same day? He's selfish. See, they have to come up with something to justify why it ain't right. Now, if he was a white man, he would be bigger than life. If he was Tom Brady, if Tom Brady played baseball and football right now, he'd be bigger than life. That all of Time Magazine, all these Cosmopolitan, all these magazines have him on front page. Tom Brady, double sports, two sports. They'll come up with some headline, Time Magazine, all these magazines. He'd be bigger than Sports Illustrated. He'd be bigger than life if Tom Brady played football and basketball, football and baseball. Right now, to this day. Yeah, they don't like when they don't like it. The only person that take the best care of you is yourself. That got me out of a relationship and I really wanted to be in. But in truth, I better that. Yeah. Sometimes, man, you got to get away from some people. And see, here's the good news. Us guys, we can be by ourselves. We don't got to be with the next person like women. Women have a hard time being by themselves. They have a hard time being by themselves. Us guys, we're cool. We don't got to have somebody come over all the time. No. Come over sometime. You don't got to come over all the time. We don't got to talk every day. A woman will get the press if she goes without talking to a guy for so long. Not most guys, though. We're cool. Some guys, man, if they die by themselves, they're okay. They'll be okay with that. Some guys, I know some guys are okay with that. The women are not okay with that. Prime time, prime time, prime time. Women find it hard to be alone because they require constant validation. Yeah. Yeah. That's why a lot of women have a lot of following on social media, especially Twitter and Instagram. And the women, they love the validation. It doesn't matter who it is. She don't got to know them. They love the validation. They eat it up, boy. That's why you got a lot of these older white women on Twitter. These guys are telling them how you're so hot. This old shrivel up woman, wrinkle up, skin wrinkle up like a road map. You tell all these guys telling her how fine she is. But check this out. Here's something that I I I I I, I see a lot. The women that deserve validation, the women that actually look good, they don't get the validation. They don't have the following like they should on a lot of these platforms. White women get the validation, the likes, the shares just because she's white. It don't matter how she look. In most cases, that's what a lot of people don't understand. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna say this. If the over the top shades get the shine, over the top, well, over the top chicks, they always get the shine. But I'm not even talking about that. I'm not even talking about the over the top chicks. I'm talking about if you compare apples to oranges, most of these women are doing the same thing as the white chicks, right? If you take any non-white woman on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, right? And you compare them, they're doing the same thing. They all know each other now. They all know each other. The white woman's still gonna have more followers than her. That's been consistently proven to be true. Now, check this out. If I was a white guy saying what I'm saying today, I'd have way more followers. I already know what it is. I already know. But hey, I don't do this for views. I didn't start doing this for views. I started doing this because I wanted to connect with other people while I was traveling. Yeah, I didn't start doing this for views. I wanted to connect and network with people while I was traveling these other places and other countries. That's why I started doing this. It ain't had nothing to do with making money really at all. Now, I do the podcast. I do the podcast for money. I do the podcast for money. I can say that. I do that for money. But I don't do this for money. No. Because, I got some people that come on. I got guests that come on. I'm going to have more guests that's going to be coming on. So I have a pretty decent audience that listen to my podcast. So far, so good, Okay, so some guys just play games with older women. They get cougars to get money. I hate to say it, players can be predators. Oh yeah, yeah. I see that on Twitter a lot. They have these content creators, and sometimes a lot of older women kind of have to go along with it because they really ain't got they ain't really gonna have anything else left to stand on. All they got is their looks. That's left anyway. They look halfway decent, but they not, they're not in the 20s and 30s no more. These women are in the 40s, 50s, sometimes 60s. So a lot of older women kind of have to go along with it because that's all they ain't really got much left to stand on. So a lot of these guys do kind of prey on them. I see that a lot. I see it in offline too. Same thing. So it happens. Just like light-skinned black or brown females, they get validation because they are light in color, even if they have an average look. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that happens too. Just like, let's say you work in a job. White folks prefer dealing with light-skinned black women mainly better than the rest of us. Yeah, that happens. We understand that. Gotta fly, y'all be good. All right, peace out, man. The sad thing to see is that women who only relied to her beauty and all her life, not beauty is gone. Yeah, I mean, shit. Some of these women, man, you can't save them, man. You can't tell them nothing. It's been, man, a few women, probably less than, probably 4 or 5 women that I reached out to. Some I met in person. I'm like, yo, we need to collaborate. We need to do something. They won't do it. You can't save everybody. You can't, because I know she's getting older. She ain't gonna be out here but so long. So I know she has to get established. It's sooner the better. Or I might have recommended, hey, you should start a podcast. Didn't do it either. Now she'll jump on everybody else's shit, everybody else's video, but won't start her own shit, which makes no sense to me, And a lot of that is due to validation too. She's looking for validation, but she's struggling. Look, you gotta capitalize off who you are. You ain't gonna last but so long. Your looks is gonna fade when you start, especially in the 40s and 50s. But you can't tell. And how long are you gonna keep fucking these dudes? How long are you gonna keep doing that? They're gonna, once they get done with you, they're gonna go to these younger girls, and they ain't gonna need you no more. But they don't listen to me. You can't save everybody. That's what I've learned, man. You can't save them. So what I do now, I keep my damn mouth shut. I don't recommend anything. I don't recommend anything. So hey, man, like, share the video. Again, man, check out the podcast. Any of that good stuff, man. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.